video is on how to get rid of a dull life. How to get rid of a dull life. So what is the answer to your problems of a dull life and no money? Well, it is in fact just one word: work. Work is the answer. It always was, and it will be in the future. And not just 25 or 30 hours a week and living with your parents because you can't afford to have your own place. I'm talking about working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and every week. Not one job, but multiple jobs. Even if you have a full-time job, grab you a couple of part-time jobs on the side. Work will destroy dull in your life. Work will destroy dull. Now I know that work also equals cash. You never get rich minimum wage, and some of my jobs are below minimum wage. Rest assured. But you will never go hungry if you have a bunch of part-time jobs. And not all of them have to be conventional. I do some panning for gold here in southwest Nebraska. Rest assured, the potential is there, and everywhere. Don't get into the trap of thinking that only rich people have exciting jobs or exciting lives. Don't get into that trap. I'm here to tell you that as I work ranch out there, part-time field hand and ranch hand. Done that for 38 years. And for example, one day they said they had a calf missing, so I went out in the deep canyon looking for him. And I looked up on the ridge, and there was a blur up there. Couldn't figure out what it was, so I put up my binoculars, and it was a wolf. I said a wolf, and but I found the calf before the wolf did. Got him back to the herd. Well, next week I saw the game warden. And I said, Mr. Game Warden, I had a wolf out there on the ranch I work at. And he said, no, you didn't. He said, it was a dog. I said, okay, maybe it was. But you won't mind then if I shoot that dog. And the old Game Warden, before he even blinked, he snapped back at me. He said, if you shoot that wolf, he said, I will fine you $5,000, take your gun, and put you in jail for 6 months. My life dull? Not hardly. And that don't count that I also work at a bakery in the middle of the night making rolls and donuts, upwards of 200 dozen some nights, and I'm the only one there. Going up that alley in the middle of the night, I see all sorts of things that happen, from drug deals to ladies of the night up there servicing men once in a while. You never know what you might see, and just as I watch that wolf on the rim and keep him in sight and keep him away from me, I keep those people away from me. But you gotta know your area and keep visually contact with everything. You bet. Dull? Not hardly. And it doesn't end there. When I work at the candy truck, I'm always watching for the kids to keep them safe. Dull? Not hardly. And keep the kids from fighting. And I also have all sorts of other stories that I have from that candy truck. The most recent one, I had a gentleman with his little kid come up there over the holidays. He was visiting relatives here. And he worked as a screener at an airport, major airport here in the United States. Okay. I said, you know, sir, I don't believe in what you're doing. And he said, it's the law. And I said, well, that may well be. But for example, the shoe thing, making them take the shoes off, he said, yep, that's part of it. And I said, well, I don't believe in that at all. I said, one man attempted to blow up a plane with a shoe, didn't get it done, and you're making 10 million people take their shoes off every year for the rest of eternity. He said, it's the law. And I said, no, I don't buy that. You see, when 9/11 happened, I bought this. It's a Camel, of course, and I said I use it as demonstrations quite often. And I said, when I bought this is a decoy for terrorists. And anybody comes up to my candy truck and starts petting him and speaking Arabic, I figure he might be a terrorist. No, a screener, he said, that's ridiculous. And I said, no more ridiculous than you making everybody take the shoes off. I lost that sale. But again, my life ain't dull. And the more jobs you have, and God, I feel seriously sad for the people that can only work 25 or 30 hours a week. You get up there 50, 60, 70 hours a week, now you got something, and you will have anything but a dull life. Anything but a dull life. America needs you working too. I'll finish it with this last story. Now, what are the odds of an old man like me, nobody, getting called up to have Christmas dinner with the rich rancher that I work at part-time? He wanted me there for Christmas dinner. Makes $10 million a year, I make $10,000 a year. But I sat at his table and ate dinner with him. But beside me, what are the odds of a man coming in there and sitting beside me and was a hired hand, one of his many hired hands, and he was a new one? Well, that man was a Chinese national, but not just Chinese national. He was a captain in the Chinese army. I kid you not. And that man and I had a very interesting conversation, including him telling me about the Chinese government having 130 million people in their people's army ready to march in a day's notice. Made me want to go home and buy an extra carton of 22 shells, it did. Be that as it may. Dull? My life is not dull, and neither should yours be. So I hope you spread the word of freedom and make this country stronger by getting as many part-time jobs and working as much as you can and killing the dull in your life, and if a little bit possible, maybe even preaching the Word of God. Rate this film.